Very good afternoon, students. This is Victor Emmanuel Ras. Welcome back to our topic called word formation. And in this word formation, we are also going to discuss what are prefixes and suffixes. This is what we're going to see. This is what we're going to learn in this topic. And see here, word formation, it is nothing but the creation of new word. What is that? Word formation is nothing but creation of new word. So the commonest of creating a new word is to add a prefix or suffix to an existing one. So we're going to have a word already there. So when we add this prefix or suffix to that given word, you take it for granted, we're gonna get new word. For example, communication is the base word. Communication is the word which is given there. So we have to create a new word right now. But remember one thing, communication has its own meaning. But when you add a prefix or suffix to this given word, we're going to get a new word and as well as a new meaning. So here I cannot add a prefix to this word. So that's the reason what I'm going to do. I'm taking the help of this prefix, and where this is how I have written miscommunication. So when I added a prefix miss to this one, so we got the new word and as well as new meaning too. So this is how the word formation actually help us in order to improve our vocabulary better. So as a part of this one, word formation might be seen in different what do you call that in a different types. The first one is here compounding, and second type conversing. Yeah, and third one is here affixation, and fourth one is blending, and the fifth one is conversion, and sixth one is clipping. So with the help of these things, we can actually create new word. So these are all called types of word formations. But the thing is here, we are not going to discuss all these points, but we are exclusively going to look into this affixation. So with the help of this affixation, how are we going to form new word? That is what we're going to see in today's class. Let's see what is this affixation. And remember one thing, my dear, don't get confused when you are pronounced as affixation, or when you go for the pronunciation, or when you see the word called affixes. Okay, affixation or affixes, both are same. So what are these affixes? Prefix plus, or prefixes plus suffixes, together called as affixes. Okay, in the examination they'll ask you, they'll give you some words and may ask you to write affixes. Don't get confused. What are these affixes? Affixes are nothing but a prefix and as well as a suffix. So to the given word, either you have to add a prefix or the suffix to that. So this is how we have to be. So let's see what are these prefixes and suffixes. As a first one, let's see what is this prefix. Prefix is a word which is actually add before the root word. Where are we going to add this prefix one? Prefix. So prefix is actually used before the root word. So when we add this prefix before the root word or the given word, we're gonna get new word. For example, script is the word that you got. What is that? Script is the word. So now I have to add prefix to this one. So I'm going to add prefix, that is post. Remember one thing, when I write this script individually, it has got its own meaning. But when I add a prefix post to this one, we got a new word, that is a postscript, which actually has its own meaning, where you're going to have its own significance. And next one is here. Take the root word C. This is the root word. So for which I'm going to add the prefix under. So now we got a new word, that is under C. And next one, um, what is that? Miss is the prefix, and the root word is here fire. If you take fire individually, it has its own meaning. But when I add a prefix miss to this one, what happened? We got a new word. And the next one, uh, sub is the prefix, marine is the base word. So marine has got its own meaning, but when I added the prefix sub to this one, we got a new word and as well as a new meaning. That is submarine. And next, you can see honest, Honest. Honest is the word. Honest is the word. Honest is the base word here. So when I add dis, the prefix to this one, we got a new word that is dishonest. And next, look is the base word. When I add OVER, which is a prefix to this one, we got a new word, overlook. And due is the base word. When I add OVER, which is a prefix, it became overdue. It became a single word and it has got its own meaning. So remember one thing. In word formation, we're going to take the help of prefixes and as well as some suffixes. These prefixes and suffixes will actually help us to create new words. This is how it's going to be. See here, the base word is here script. Script is the main word. The script is the base word or root word we say. When I add a prefix to this one, this is how it is pronounced. We are not going to pronounce script individually because I placed or I put the prefix of POST before to that, which actually stands for postscript. So now it has got its own meaning. And likewise here too, misfire. Fire is something, but when I add MIS, the prefix, it changed its meaning and as well as we got the new word. So this is how these prefixes will help us to create new words. Our next one is here. We're going to see how are these suffixes will help us to create new words. Where are we going to place these suffixes? Prefixes are actually added before the base word. These suffixes are actually added at the end of the root word. At the end of the root word. For example, take an example of citizen. Citizen. Citizen is the root word. And now I have, in order to create a new word, I have to add a suffix to this one. So what I did, ship, ship is the suffix. Now, if you take these two words individually, citizen has got its own meaning. But when I added the suffix to this one, we got the new word citizenship. You take that for granted. When you add a prefix to this one, the entire meaning has changed and we got a new word. Our next one is here. Free is the base word. Free is the root word. When I added the suffix DOM, what happened? We got the new word. We got the new word, which is freedom. Isn't that? And next, if you take one more example, kingdom. King is the one. So king has got its own meaning. When I add DOM to that, it became kingdom. And we the one who should be in the position to understand the concept clearly. Okay? Heavy is the word. Heavy. Heavy. When I add NES to this one, heaviness. Dark is the base word. DARK. Dark is the base word. So when I add NES, the prefix, it became darkness. And we the people who are supposed to be in the position to add suffix or prefix to the base word properly and appropriately. And next, other. Other is the base word where I am going to add WISE, otherwise it became. See here, I'll tell you one thing. You can ask me, how are you writing this SHI ship, DOM DOM, NAS, and WISE? I'll tell you one thing here. When we are talking exclusively this affixation part, these things has got its own meaning, and how what kind of meanings that we have when we actually no no when we actually sit in the classroom, or when the class is going on. Definitely I'm going to tell you what are the meanings it carries when we are using them as a part of prefixes and as well as suffixes. And also take one more example. Enchant. Enchant is a base word. So I added the prefix enchantment, where we got a new word followed by the new meaning. And we, the people who should be in the position to understand this concept. So in the examination, they'll ask you to write. They'll ask you to. This is how they'll give the question. Uh, Write the affixes to the given words. They'll give you base word like this. For example, courage. Courage, they give you the word, and they may ask you to add prefix or suffix to this given word. So is it really possible to give any prefix to this one? So we cannot place any prefix to this. Obviously we have to go for suffix. So what I can do is here courageous, OUS I added. So when I added OUS to this one, I got a new word. So this is how actually the words will go, or at the time of examination, the words will be asked. So you take that for granted. You're going to ask this question, this topic for 2 marks in the final examination. And as a part of the improving your vocabulary, and you have to do this small exercise. And I'm going to check this one. See here, very simple. You have to create new words. That is what the topic is all about, right? Now you have to create the new words. For example, you the one who's supposed to have your own words, my dear. I'm taking an example of courage here. Courage is noun here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create new word. So I'm going to create an adjective out of this noun, so called courage, and also I'm going to create an adverb too. Is that clear? See here, courage is a noun, courageous is an adjective. Courage has got its own meaning, and courageous also has got its own meaning. The meanings are not same, my dear. We got our own meanings here. And the adverb would be, yeah, very good. Courageously. Courageously. Courage, courageous, courageously. And take one more word. Danger. Danger is a base word. So with this, I'm going to form adjective and as well as adverb. So I'm trying to create new words by taking by taking the help of base word. Danger, dangerous, and dangerously. See here, danger has got its own meaning, dangerous has its own meaning, dangerously has got its own meaning. This is how we can actually build our vocabulary by practicing that. So what you have to do to the next class, by the time you come here, make sure at least this is at least 10 words supposed to be written like this. Like this. If you want to use these words as a part of your exercise, you can do this. And but make sure the rest of the 8 words are supposed to be on your own. And this is how you have to create the new words. This is what is all about word formation and prefixes and as well as suffixes. If you need any queries regarding to this one, just call me or ping me on WhatsApp. Thank you.